Hey everybody, it's Fairy Meadow. I'm here with a face painting tutorial. I just got a new paint. This is the Hot Prisma Cake by Paradise Maron. I haven't even tried it yet, and I wanted to try and do sort of like a sassy little tiger eye, just one side and around the nose and the eye area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by loading a sponge that I have right here. This is just an ordinary makeup sponge. You can get it at any drugstore, common drugstore. And I just got some new metallic white paint I'm really excited about. This is Diamond FX White. You can see I played with it just a little bit. I hope the camera's picking up that pretty gleam. It's very, very shiny, and I like shiny stuff. So I'm loading my sponge. I've just got it a little bit wet. I'm going to load it with some of the Diamond FX White. I'm just going to pick it up. You can see the white on there. And then I'm going to test it on the back of my hand. That's a good consistency. Okay, just a little bit of white. And I'm going to sponge that onto half of my nose area and part of my eye area. So grab my mirror. So I'm going to make the upper mouth part of the tiger, only on one side. I'm just tapping my brush, tap, tap, tap. Sponge, I'm sorry, I'm tapping my sponge, tap, tap, tap. And you can kind of see it's a little bit light because it's metallic. I'll use a little bit more paint. Bring it sort of up higher to create dimension. And down low. And you can add a little more paint to the other side. And we can go back over that later. There's a good first base. See all that? We're going to do the same thing to the eyelid on the same side of the face. We're keeping this all on one side. Just making sort of a sassy looking little tiger eye. So bring that up. Sorry, I'm blocking you with my mirror, aren't I? Tap, tap, tap. From this corner of the eye up in a 45-degree angular line. Creating the illusion of the shape of the tiger. So it goes a little under my eye. That's no big deal. Just flip your sponge if you want and just wipe it around. And that just makes it a little shiny. No problem. So I'm sweeping, and we're going to clean this up in just a second with that Prisma cake that I talked about. Now, I've got a 3/4 inch square flat brush. It's quite wet. You need to keep your brush really wet when you're working with these Prisma cakes so that you can keep the colors really bright and crisp and separate. So we're going to add some detail. Now I'm going to load right here. I want to get the orange, definitely, because I'm making a tiger, and a little red and a little yellow. And I just lay my brush down flat. I go down and up over and over again on the same spot so that you can work the color all the way up to the metal part right here. That's really important when you're working with these flash or any Prisma cake. Why did I say flash? I think that's the color of a Prisma cake. So I've got it pretty well loaded. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to color in this whole area and probably a little bit above the eye area with these three colors that I have loaded on my brush. You can see that. And then I'm going to come out and make a point. I'm just going back and forth, making little points so it looks like fur. And zoom in a little bit for you. And angle your brush as you need to. There we go. And I'm just going to add a little bit of tufts right around here. Changing the angle of my brush just slightly so that it gives the illusion of it moving around. Then from this part we're going to go into the eye and sweep up. Here we go. And I don't mind that my colors are blending a little bit because I want the orange and the yellow are mixing with the red to make it a little bit of a dark orange, and that's showing up really nice on the camera. If it were just orange, it might be kind of difficult to see. Hopefully you can see the variation of the colors, the yellow to the red, and I turn my head like that for you. Now I'm going to kind of feather this a little bit so I have some room to make some more stripes. And I'm just blending it out with the clean end of my sponge, tapping and blending out, softening that line. But I still have the crisp inner line. I'm just softening the outer line. Just like that. Now I want to fill this area in. And I think the way I'm going to do that, mind you, I haven't actually done this ever before, is I'm going to load just the orange and the yellow. And we're going to see if I can use that to sort of fill this in a way that looks good. So I'm just going up and down over the same colors and making sure my brush is really nice and damp so I can pick up lots of paint. Alright. Now let's see what this looks like. I'm going to go under the eye with the lighter shade. Oh, that looks a little bit strange, but that's okay. We'll work it out. And then I'm going to come in with orange down there. And just make some more of these. Just wiggling my brush back and forth. Just wiggling my brush to make it look like fur. And then I'm going to bring it down. Into the nose and down into that white area. There we go. So you can see all those colors. Now I'm going to add some of this orange, this lighter orange, up here. Drag that in a little more over the ridge of my eye. And coming down. And then I'm going to blend those together a little more, the red and the orange. I'm going to blend everything together just a little more. And I've got some of that shimmery white right on the back of this, so it's just kind of making everything look a little softer. I'm going to fade this yellow right here up. Alright. So that's kind of cute. We've got the white around the mouth still, the white around the eye, and then some red and orange and yellow. Now I'm going to take the number 2 round brush, really basic brush, right here. Sorry, this isn't the case. And I'm going to load this with some black paint, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use the black that's on the end of this hot Christmas cake, because honestly, I haven't used this yet, but I have used other rainbow cakes and split cakes, as people call them, to make face painting before, and I find that if you use the black very often, it kind of has a tendency to take over the rest of the entire palette and cover in some all the other colors. So I am going to just use this for detail work too. Why not? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to make, sorry, I know I'm covering this with my hand, but I'm painting, I think I chose the wrong side of my face. I'll start down low so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go out to a point, nice and thin, apply some pressure, wiggle my brush, and get that again. So I'm making some cute little tiger lines. And do the same thing right here. Light, thick pressure, wiggle, and come up. Coming down a little, light, thick pressure, wiggle, and come up. Making our little tiger lines. Thin pressure, big pressure, wiggle, and fade away. Now I'm going to take a moment to trace my white area like this. Come down, make a little line, definition line. Come up and in. There you go. There's that tiger mouth. Can make some more of these. And then just, going from thin to thick pressure. Light pressure to heavy pressure to thin pressure, or, a little bit heavy and then light. You just wiggle it around a little, see what you like. And play with it. Alright, now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go into this eye area around here. I'm going to trace this and come in and go across. So really light to start out with. And down. And come in. Right there. And then I'm going to come this way. I'm going to go from the inside of my eye up. There we go. Alright, you did heavy light, heavy light. I'm going to line my eye because I'm a tiger, kitty cat. I'm just lining my eye. I know you can't see what I'm doing very well, and I apologize for that. Out. I'm just dragging the brush around. And then we're going to do some more of these stripes at the top, just like we did down here. So, thin, thick, wiggle, pull away. Thin, thick, wiggle, pull away. Then we'll come up here. We're going to make some that kind of start thin, come up, and go down, and come back. So we'll see if I can show you. Thin, thick, thin, and it points up, comes back down. Look at that. All you're doing is starting at a point with very little pressure, applying more pressure, loosening, and coming back down and doing the same basic movement. And we'll just do a few more little movements like that, just around here. Now I'm going to bring in some dots, and I'm going to do some dots in the eye area. And under here. You can do some shadowing on the outside of the fur if you like. Just don't go the whole thing. You just need to use small amounts because you're just making a shadow. Heavier on the underside than the top. And if you want, we can make a cute little tooth coming out. A little tiger tooth. That would be kind of sassy too, wouldn't it? And just a few more dots. and my nose and my whiskers. My whiskers, I'm just making little dots. And my nose, this is the funny part when you're painting tigers' noses. I'm only doing one side and I'm going under, not on top, because their noses are like down low. You don't want to paint inside my nose. Alright, there it is. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like my sassy one-sided tiger eye design. I really hope you like it because this is the first time I've ever done it. And I think it turned out alright. Experimental. Alright, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon, I hope. Bye!